everybody. Hi. Let me bring this mic a little bit closer. How are you doing? It's Tuesday night, and I'm just going to give you a little taste. Whoa. A little hint. Well, I'm actually going to just tell you. Check this out. This is what we're doing tonight. You ready for this? It's video night at Quilt Nerd. That's right. It's video night. Yeah. That's right. It's video night. We're going to watch videos tonight. Yeah. It's going to be great. Okay. Let's get back to how things usually do at the beginning of the show. Wow. So it's good to see you, and it's Tuesday night, and part of the reason, whoa, look at all those bits coming in. Oh, it's pouring down rain all of a sudden. Wow, it's really coming down. I can hear it on the windows. That's cool. That's cozy. It's a good night to watch videos. Do I have an umbrella to walk home with? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So, yeah, the soundboard's back. It's a good-looking soundboard, too. So it's raining. Hey, Penny. Hey, Earth Girl. Saucy Citra, thank you so much for subscribing at Tier 2. You've been subscribed for 11 months. You're on an 11-month streak. Very, very awesome to have you in the Quilt Nerd fold. A little champagne for you. And as I said yesterday on the Quilt Nerd Shorty, that was the shortest one I've done. We talked about Art Deco quilts. I was very tired, but it was edifying and interesting and enjoyable to me because I got to hang out with you. And I did talk about how there is a sound cue that was that's bouncing around in the co-working stream stratosphere that I'm gonna have to ask Stephanie Cake. Let's listen to the sound cue. It's a good one, right? It's a good sound cue. What, Stephanie Cake, by the way, Stephanie Cake, everyone. So Steph is the co-producer of the show, I don't even know. She's Stephanie Cake. She's part of the deal. Okay. She comes standard. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we love Cake. We appreciate her. And she's coming to us from Maryland. And, you said you like the toot toot?
I do.
I do too. What does it mean though?
I feel like it's like tooting your own horn.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did a good thing. Maybe it doesn't rise to I invented Post-it notes, but it's like, you know what, you're a good citizen. Toot your own horn. You go on now.
Oh, I like that. So if somebody does a good deed, or a quilter's like, I gave all my quilts to charity because people are cold, and we'll be like, yeah, that yeah.
Yeah,
That. I like that.
I rescue homeless pets.
There you go.
Things,
Exactly. I donated chips to the needy. Well, I don't want to make a joke about the needy. I donated chips to Quilt Nerd. I like that. I think we should try it out. I think we should see what we think about it, and we're getting all our sound cues back in the mix. Hey Robin, I use it. That's true. I originally used it for when someone came into the co-working stream. It's true. I think it'll still be the case for the co-working streams, and those are not gonna go. They're not gone forever. I'm just in a season. I'm in a season of deadlines and stress, and it takes every ounce, every fiber of my being to make it through each day. It's totally fine. I'm good. No, it's fine. I really am fine, but yeah, it's kind of like all hands on deck until this project launches with Quilt Folk.
Deadlines ruin everything, darn it.
They really do.
It's a good deadline, though. If it's the one I think it is, it's a good one.
It is.
They do ruin your leisure time.
They ruin the leisure time, and just like stresses at home, I mean, nothing like, but it's just like I can't, all my focus is on things that I absolutely love and need to do and have to focus on, and that's you. Yeah, that's you. And that other stuff, but mostly you. And right now, it's you. Thank you for tuning into Quilt Nerd. Thank you to all the subscribers out there. I love making this show. If you've never seen it before, and anybody who's in YouTube or Facebook land who's tuning in, if you're watching on the replay gang. Thank you for, thank you for the eyeballs. Hit the like button, follow, all that stuff really matters in the algorithm in which we all live. But Quilt Nerd is an exploration. Tonight we're gonna watch videos. I mean, I spent time, hey Dolly. I've spent time in the YouTubes today. I mean, I was like in the mines. I was deep in the mines of YouTube. And I found some pretty fascinating stuff. I found some great stuff. And so tonight we're gonna watch a bunch of videos and we're gonna react to it, and I'm gonna stop and we're gonna chat about it, and we're all gonna go to those videos and like the stream, and subscribe. That's the etiquette when you're doing reaction videos on the internet. You wanna go and support the creator who made the video, or, it's hard out here, okay? Like the stream, okay? And it's Valentine's Day, so we have an intro quilt behind me that's got some hearts on it. And Stephanie Cake is on the trail. She's on the trail. She's on the Dr. Dunton trail. And today, I know that at the cake break, when I take a little break and Stephanie takes over, she's going to give you a special treat for today. A special Valentine's Day themed treat.
Oh yeah, Dr. Dunton and Valentine's Day. I have something for you.
That's right. So let's get started. Let's do this. I'm not going to do an announcement tonight. I mean, we're going to talk about it. Actually, no, I am. I'm sorry. There is one announcement. So this weekend is the American Quilt Study Group Winter Study Center session. Okay? And, oh yeah, I left something on the printer. But Stephanie Cake, would you mind posting in the chat the AQSG Winter Study Center link? If you just go
I certainly can.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
yes.
Thank you. So when I was at seminar, Marcia was there and Molly was there. The AQSG American Quilt Study Group is like the OG quilt nerds. I mean, we would not be here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for AQSG. And lots of quilt nerds are members of AQSG, and so they should be, and so you should be. If you like quilts and quilt history, I was really intimidated by AQSG for a long time. I went to one of the seminars and I was too young to go to it. I don't mean that you need to be of a certain age to join AQSG or love it, but I was a new quilter and I just wanted to make quilts, and I don't know, I just wasn't into the history yet. And then it happened, right? And then I was really intimidated by AQSG because I'm like, I don't know enough. Like, I am too young for this or something. I've never written a scholarly paper about something. Never mind the fact I've been published like a zillion times in other ways in the quilt world. But I just didn't think I don't know, that I'd like make the grade or something. And then I was like, I was so intimidated. I was like, who needs it? Let's start our own study group. And it's, that would be fine too. But it turns out that AQSG has, they've got a wonderful history, a fabulous history as an organization. The woman who started it, in essence, was like, why should the halls of academia, be the only sort of, why should they hold the keys to serious academic study or serious scholarship? And she had a sort of a feminist belief, to it, which was just don't worry about that word. Think about how, women and their history, could use a little attention sometimes. Doesn't get all the attention it should have, right? Quilts are our history. And so Sally Garut said, maybe let's have a group, let's have an organization where we really pay attention and pay respect to quilt history and scholarship. And you don't have to have letters behind your name to write a paper and have it peer reviewed, and let's make quilt scholarship a thing, damn it. And they did. And so once I went to seminar with a bunch of quilt nerds, I was like, oh yeah, this is the place to be. This is the place to be. AQSG rules. And so at the seminar that they have every year, it was in San Diego this year, a week after Stephanie Cake and I were in San Diego for TwitchCon, I returned to do AQSG. Very different crowd, but crossovers, interestingly enough. God, please, someone at seminar for AQSG do cosplay stuff. Please, please, please do it. Wear it or do a paper on it. Quilts and cosplay, please do it. Anyway, so I presented a thing. I did a study center, and I presented my findings, my research, on quilts and fine art, the The Complicated Presence of Quilts in Fine Art, 1900 to Today. Because, and this was a lecture I gave last year at QuiltCon, it's expanded on that, because I was like, what's the deal with quilts in like at MoMA? Like what's the deal when like quilts show up in fine art museums? Like, what is the art craft binary? And basically I was asking, like, you know, people say, are quilts art or craft? And I always answered, well, they're art. But I didn't really know why. When I really thought about it, I was like, yeah, but why do I say that? And do I actually believe it? And so I really dug deep to try to understand the art craft binary. And like, it's crap. It's like total crap. So I guess you don't need to come to my study center this weekend, because now you know what I'm going to say. But you should, hey Sally, but you should come to the study center, and the link is there in the chat. And it does cost money. If you're a member of AQSG, it costs less money. But if you're not, it does cost money to see it. And you know what's awesome? They pay people like myself to deliver the thing. No one's getting rich on AQSG study centers, but you know what? A lot of things like that don't pay you at all. And so your ticket price goes to supporting the organization. And, you know, I get some money to do the thing that I work, I don't know how long on. I don't want to think about it. So come by. It's online. It's online. Maybe didn't mention that, but on Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m. Central, I'm going to fire up my thing, and I'm going to tell you what I found out. And it's just a visual feast. It's a visual feast of quilts and art. It's fabulous. It's so good. Yeah. So that's it. That's what I have to say. Ooh, it made Molly want to do fist pumps. That's Molly doing fist pumps. Oh, I miss you, Molly. Okay. We had a good time. We had many banquets. We sat at many banquets together. And it was so hot and I hated it. Okay, but I loved it. Okay, so that's the thing. And that was really kind of an AQSG, you know, cheer squad too, because I really believe in that organization and I think you should too. Okay. Angelina's here. Dee Maria's here. Dee Dee's here. Yeah, Sherlock's here. Yes. Cosplay a log cabin. I love it. Thank you, Bip. I saw that you subscribed at tier 2 for 16 months. Fiendor's coming in with the music. Slow So is here. I'm so happy. Oh my God, this is great. Padma's here. Hello. Bonnie. Oh man. Okay. Grits and butter. This is great. So I'm gonna get started, but on the quilt, because that's what we have to do. But I want to say hi to everybody, and if I missed anybody, hey Raffle, Kelly subscribed at tier 1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And Saucy Stitcher subscribed at tier 2. You're both on major streaks. I love it. Drink Wine and Soul In. Quilts for Sweet Dreams. Everybody's renewing. That's really great, because the Twitch month ends tomorrow or today, I think. That's good. Jacome Jellies is great. Okay, so this quilt today, I have just one intro quilt, and then we're gonna watch videos. Actually, I have the cover for you here. Oh yes, Bold Improvisation, searching for African American quilts, the Heffley collection. I feel like this book's come up a lot lately. It's probably because I need to shelve it. I need to file it in my Quilt Nerd bookshelf over there, and it keeps coming to the top because I need to do my organization and reshelve some things. But I did actually use the nascent Quilt Nerd library finding aid. I went and searched hearts. Yeah, I went and searched hearts. That thing is, it's just dormant right now. The dream is to have a finding aid, and it exists. It's a little stem of a finding aid, but it's a database where, you know, the content of quilt books would be available, right? And anyway, so I searched hearts in what is currently there in the Quilt Nerd library finding aid, and this came up. So let's look at the quilt, because it's Valentine's Day and it's hearts. Yeah, it's called Hearts. If you buy this book through our A-Books affiliate link, we get a few pennies, a few shekels. But this book, I don't know, Cake, is this even available? I mean, it's a deep cut too, and it can be expensive.
I think it is, but if I remember correctly, this one is a little on the pricier side. Yeah. It's like there's only 2 available, and they're over $100.
Yeah. I got this a while ago. Most of the time, the books I use on the show or talk about on the show, you know, they're $5. You know, the most. A lot of times, if it's $25, it's like, ooh, that's an expensive used book. For the most part, they're much less expensive at Abe Books, but this one is fairly rare. So you can enjoy it on the show if you can't afford to get it yourself. So 77 by 69 inches, circa 1930. This quilt called Hearts, called that by Mr. Heffley. I mean, that's the name he's given it. Hearts. Found in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm always curious about what that means. What do you mean found? Found. I don't know. I have questions about that. Cotton and synthetic, hand appliqued, machine pieced, and machine quilted. Scott Heffley says, quote, "This unique quilt pattern uses a variety of printed fabrics from the 1930s. The quilt maker often applied strong prints on top of and next to other strong prints. This technique is known as multiple patterning." Have you heard that term before? Multiple patterning?
Mm-mm.
I feel like that's kind of made up.
What does that mean?
I think it's made up. Listen, I like this book a lot. Every time I talk about it, though, I have to say I have problems with some of the text. I feel like Scott really loves these quilts, and it shows, and he's got a great collection. It's his collection. It's this man's collection. As an editor, I have to say I would make some changes. But that's okay, Scott. We're really glad your book exists. And it's like, yeah, come on the show. I defend your book. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So this technique is known as multiple patterning. Yeah, and then he talks a little bit about a dire cloth. Okay, I'm skipping that. He says, quilts are made to warm the beds of loved ones. In many ways, they are made from the heart to the heart. You see what I'm saying? It's like, with over 100 hearts, well, that's good to know, 100 hearts appliqued on this quilt, the maker is very literal with this creation. Okay, this is a good observation. Note that all the hearts point to a single central medallion. Let's look at the whole thing. That's really neat. That's fabulous. Wow. Okay, thank you, Scott. I did not notice it. The group of large hearts to the left of center could represent a family group. See, that's pure conjecture. He has absolutely no idea. That could represent a family group? Yes, they could. The quilt has an overall strong sense of community. Many spirits of different types working together for a common good. Okay, well, it's lovely. It just, yes. I think I like all of that. I wish there was more like first person. Like when I see this quilt, it makes me think of many, spirits working together, because it's a lovely sentiment, but it's kind of a wiggly line between like, is this stuff you know about the quilt or stuff you feel about it? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know how to do 9 million things, but I spend a lot of time with words, and I like to pretend that I know a few things, but I probably don't. Anyway, it's a neat quilt, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I really like this. This is the kind of thing that I feel like my grandmother would have made.
Yeah. It's so good. Oh, it's so simple, just in terms of like it's hearts in a square, but it's perfect. I wouldn't change an inch of it. I wouldn't change a color. I wouldn't change a fabric. I wouldn't change a stroke. And you know what I love? It's interesting. It's like we see these quilts by people. I'm zooming in again over here on the left. I see quilts and color combinations that just, you would never go with like hunter green and pink and like flower sack or house dress, florals and plaid. I mean, it's just impossible. But somehow, in the hands of this maker, it's sublime. And the thing is, it's like if you had these colors, I mean, this is what gets me upset. I guess I'm like real feisty tonight. But what bothers me sometimes, well, a lot of times when people are like, she just, she didn't know how good she was, or, she had all this artistic talent, and, what a shame, that she couldn't have gone to art school or something. And it's like, I mean, yes, it's all very complicated, as to like, I don't know. I mean, access to materials and all of that is a very big conversation to have. However, every single part of this quilt, every stitch that was taken was a choice. The person who made it made a choice. And the person who made this quilt chose where to put every applique heart on every square of fabric. It was not a mistake. It was not an accident. And even if she was like shooting the breeze with her girlfriend and was like, yeah, you know, let me grab one of these squares, let me grab one of these hearts, go on, tell me your story, I'm super into it. You know, even if she was doing that, it wasn't like she was not looking at it. She was looking at it, and she was probably asking her friend, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I just, like, you know, this is a traditional American quilt. It is a traditional American quilt, period. And every traditional American quilt, you know, is building on the ones that came before and the other ones that are being made, you know, nearby. And I don't know, it's just like, it's wild colors. It's not asymmetrical. Well, yeah, it's asymmetrical to some extent.
Hey, Mary, can you zoom in on those two bright red hearts in the middle?
I certainly can. Yep. Here we go. Thank you. I'm on one. So, woo.
I think this quilt works for me because it follows that rule that your mom says, that, you know, if everything has a friend, and I feel like the prints are used in a way, like some of the backgrounds have a heart friend who is uses that same. But that red fabric, how many of you have Denise, I think it's Denise Schmidt's, one of her thrift store collections, that red with those little daisy flowers, that is absolutely a fabric line that inspired her.
Really?
Because I have a ton of that fabric because I love it so much.
You know, it's a great red. Mm-hmm. If you find the link,
but
if you can find it.
I can see the inspiration. Yeah, I can see the inspiration. I'll look for it.
Look for it. I mean, I'd love to see it too. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, right? And I think Denise Schmidt, like, aside from being just a quality individual, you know, on a human being level, she really has a reverence for fabrics in the past. I mean, she's a true designer, right? And I really appreciate her approach to everything. She's a pretty neat person. So yeah. So there's your heart quilt. There's the Mademoiselle Larry. Good evening. I love how there's a team of blue hearts and further team of black hearts. I love that there is a team. That is a really, really great word to use for this quilt. I love it. Kenny's here. Yay! Love fabric friends. I love fabric friends too. Okay, so, and Sherlock says, applause for all of this. Hey, you know what I can do? She perfectly well could have known how amazing she was. Thank you. It's the maker's equivalent of she doesn't know how beautiful she is, and that's always some patriarchal nonsense. I agree with you. I absolutely think it's true. Yeah, as though a quilter just throws things up in the air and then they just land that way, and it's like, oh. And then we need someone else to say how wonderful it is, right? Because she couldn't possibly know. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little soapbox. Get a little soapbox. Okay, so here is where we are going to go. Are you ready? You ain't ready. I don't think you're ready. It's video night. It's video night at Quilt Nerd. Wait, I have to hide this just so you can see the jaunty way that I spelled night. I just like spelling night like that. Fabric teams, a group of fabric friends. Absolutely. Heart and background friends. Okay. Biscuit, Robin's Nest Creations. Her nickname is Biscuit, and I appreciate her very much. Okay, let's do videos. Let's do, where do we start with this? Well, we start... Okay, we're gonna start with some. I was gonna start with something else, but we're gonna start with this. Okay, hang on. It is none of these videos are over 9 minutes. I think I've got like 7. This one is less than 1 minute long, and I remember finding it with you, Cake, and I think I was on Slack with the girls. Anyway, I wanted to know if Sesame Street had ever had a quilt segment. And actually there's another one. I think there's anyway, this is classic Sesame Street quilt patterns. That's the first video. I mean, this is the kind of night we're going to have together, okay? So let's check it out. Oh god, it's okay. have to stop it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Also, I do want to tell you that when I was listening to that banjo, watching this, it's so great. Isn't it beautiful, the animation? I was thinking, Eric was sitting over there, and I was like, Eric, you know about technology. I was like, is there an app that can determine the beats per minute of a song? I was like, because I was like, I know, like if I put a beat behind this, like that could be amazing and I could play it on the show. And of course this was like 4:30, you know, and he's like, why are you doing this now? I was like, I'm inspired. And I tried for like, a half an hour, and that's too long to try to learn GarageBand. But anyway, I couldn't find that and I couldn't do it. But it would be really cool to, I suggest to you, here we go. Here's whenever you hear the goose, it means it's a good project or a research thing that you should do, quilt related. I think you should learn how to put a beat, preferably a beatbox, a live human beatboxer, put it behind the song, and make it a video, and then I'll play it on the show. Oh, Sherlock. Oh, it's so beautiful. Isn't that great? Wow. Okay, so what's cool about the videos we're going to watch tonight is I made a playlist. And so then what I'll do is I will make it public. I mean, I don't know if anybody cares, but I mean, maybe. So the playlist is called 14 February 2023 Quilt Nerd. And so it'll be on the Mary Fons YouTube channel, and so you can look at like my public playlists, and then you can, oh god, the lights just went off, that was weird. Then you can see the videos that we played today if you're interested, and yeah, I mean, if you want the Sesame Street video in your life, you'll be able to have that without a bunch of links flying around. Okay, so all right, what's next? Oh yeah, I know what's next. So in honor of just being a fan of Nikki Giovanni. It is Black History Month, but yeah, we would listen to this at any time, always, and I think we should listen to it from time to time. It's Nikki Giovanni, one of my favorite poets of all time. This is a poem that she wrote called Quilts. This video is 1 minute and 48 seconds long. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing something else, I suggest, it's just a suggestion, set it down for just a minute and listen to Nikki Giovanni read her poem, Quilts, today. Okay?
Quilts. Like a fading piece of cloth, I am a failure. No longer do I cover tables filled with food and laughter. My seams are frayed, my hems falling, my strength no longer able to hold the hot and cold. I wish for those first days when, just woven, I could keep water from seeping through, repel stains with the tightness of my weave, dazzle the sunlight with my reflection. I grow old, though pleased with my memories. The tasks I can no longer complete are balanced by the love of the task gone past. I offer no apology, only this plea. When I am frayed and strained and drizzled at the end, please someone, cut a square and put me in a quilt that I might keep some child warm. And some old person with no one else to talk to will hear my whispers and cuddle near. I'm Nikki Giovanni. The reason I love quilts so much is that I am old, and I do hope that I can warm some old person or delight some young person. Life has changed. My life has changed, and the life around me has changed. I hope I've done a good job, but if I haven't, I hope someone cuts a little corner and says she was here, she tried.
Dang it, Mary. I don't cry, and that made me cry.
Yeah, in my periphery, Cake doesn't cry very often. She's touched deeply and, moved, but I haven't seen you cry much. And in my periphery on the monitor, I saw you go like that. I watched the whole thing, and I knew I had to play it for you, but like, oh my God. It's just so beautiful. What she had to say at the end was incredible. So I think what I'll do is I'll give you that link now, because today especially, you might want to share that with someone. So let me put that in here. What'd you think about that poem? It's pretty good, right? Yeah, it's kind of the best video that's ever been made, right? I know. Padma, yes, that parallel between disposable quilts and disposable old folks, absolutely. How can we be of use to the most people? How can we hope to comfort somebody? Oh, God. The way she said, I am old. Like a quilt, I am old. And I hope I can be of... Oh, God. Anyway, I'm definitely not going to paraphrase Nikki Giovanni, but I'll tell you, when I was a kid growing up in Iowa, I went to the Barnes & Noble in Des Moines, and the first book of poetry I ever bought was Nikki Giovanni, Cotton Candy on a Rainy Day. And I started writing poems, Okay. All right. So, it's very good. Very good. Yep. Angelina, helping grandparents. Yep. So that link I just put in there, that'll take you to the video, and you can find more from there. All right. So, okay. So let's go to this. Okay, yeah, let's go to this. So I've got it's disparate things.
As a member of,
it's really disparate things. What I found was I found a video. This video. And I couldn't put it on the playlist because it's made for kids, and I guess if you have if you have content made for kids, you can't put it on a playlist. I don't know how that all works, but this was so neat. And what this led me to, so this is it's art for all videos, paper quilt family activity. Okay, it's 3 minutes and 32 seconds. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit because you'll see it's not it's mostly the visual. I'll put it on 1.25. And then I'll go to the next thing, and okay, here we go. It's video night.
Hi everyone, welcome to another art making activity presented by the Cantor Art Center and the Anderson Collection at Stanford University. Today, we're going to be making a collage using paper inspired by the artist Wendy Redstar. Now who's ready to get started?
Did you catch that? Inspired by the artist Wendy Redstar. I didn't know who she was. I was intrigued. I watched, and now we will watch together.
For today's activity, we'll need colored pencils, a ruler, some glue, scissors, pictures of your family, and some paper. While you gather your supplies, let's visit the Anderson Collection, where we can find Wendy Redstar's lithograph, Her Dreams Are True, Julia Bad Boy, which we'll use for today's inspiration. Wendy Redstar was born in Billings, Montana in 1981. As a member of the Apsolica, or Crow tribe, much of her artwork comments on the ideas and symbols that have portrayed Native communities in our country. Redstar uses factual research and humor to counteract the traditional stories many Americans have taught through Western history we may have learned in school.
Are you seeing that sculpture? Oh my God. I've got some of her art pulled up to look at, don't worry, but I think we have to do a bigger thing on her anyway.
Wendy studied sculpture, but also loves to work in photography, printing, and collage.
You see?
Many of her artworks use more than one medium and include images of her relatives. Redstar uses printing and collage in Her Dreams Are True, Julia Bad Boy, which incorporates an image of her great-grandmother. Currently on view at the Anderson Collection.
So good. Oh my God.
All right, now that we've got a little inspiration, let's get started on our activity. Start by printing out the pre-made pattern on 2 or 3 different colored sheets of paper. You can also use a ruler and a pencil to make your own geometric pattern. Use scissors to cut precise pieces out of the pattern. They can be squares, triangles, or polygons.
By the way, this is a really cool project. I actually did something like this years ago. I was like, I'm going to make paper quilts, and got an X-Acto knife and rubber cement or something, and then but it was fun. It was cool. I'm sure there's a smart way to do it, and I'm sure other people have done it, and certainly this video tells folks how to do it. Have you ever done anything like that, Kate? Worked with paper?
Maybe I did when I was younger. I have an antique children's toy that's kind of the same concept. It's blocks that have different things, and it's kind of like this.
It's fun. It's like this most simple kind of craft activity, and it's really satisfying, right?
Next, get a white sheet of paper and glue the shapes you cut on the paper. I recommend starting with a star shape in the middle of the paper and filling it with the other shapes until you get to the edges.
Thank you, Demery.
In Wendy Redstar's artwork, she uses polygons in a repetitive pattern. Once the page is filled with shapes, cut out the pictures of the people in your family photographs and glue them on top.
Love it. I love it. It's so great.
Wendy used this image of her great-grandmother in the center of her quilt pattern. We did it! Do you like what we created today?
Yes.
Be sure to give us a thumbs up. We'll be back soon with more art activities, but in the meantime, you can always come visit us in person at the Cantor Art Center and the Anderson Collection, located on the campus of Stanford University. See you next time!
Love it. Super approved. Oh, wait. That's not the... That was actually the piece that I was looking at. Hold on. That was the...
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this.
Oh, hang on. Because I pulled up a couple images of Wendy Redstar's work to show you, and here. But what I'm thinking is, let's just do a section on her. Let's just wait, and really... Well, no, because I have a video about her. I no, we're gonna look at her. We'll look at her again. This is some of her work. Look at this photograph. Okay, I'm taking down the chat, and I'm taking down me and Bets. I just want to put this. I'm even taking down the logo. Let's look at this art together. I'm gonna zoom in, see some details of this. It's I don't know. It's really, 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 really incredible. That's packing peanuts that you see, and like styrofoam, like craft balls. There's another piece I saw where she has like an inflatable deer behind her. And so this is her. She's posing in a photograph that she's taken herself or set up for herself. Cotton balls on the trees. I don't know. I mean, Susan R. Michael. Oh, look, plastic snowflakes. Plastic, like, snowflake charms. Let's get the whole thing again. Yeah, and then look at the water. It's like a mylar or something, Susan R. Michael, knew her work and was, I didn't before seeing that shot. That's the thing. As I saw the video about the kids' project, pardon me, and now here we are, looking at Wendy Redstar. So quilts take you everywhere. If you just start looking at quilt stuff, you'll find the whole wide world, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful follow your nose kind of proposition. I highly recommend it. So this is Wendy Redstar too. So let's learn about her. Let's learn something about her. Let's watch a video about her, because I have one and I want to watch it with you. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yep. Okay, and we do stop and chat, and talk about stuff. So if you want to watch the whole thing without the chit chat and the chat on the screen, you got to go to their channel and you got to watch it and you got to like and subscribe and all that stuff. This is a little different thing. This is the reaction way. to do video on the internet. Okay.
We've been working over a year with Wendy to pull this show together, so it's very exciting that it's come together tonight after so long in the planning process.
Wendy Redstar, A Scratch on the Earth, is a mid-career retrospective of one of America's rising young artists. Wendy's work explores her identity as a member of the Crow tribe, and she chose the Newark Museum in part because of its collection of both historic and contemporary Native American art.
Wow.
New galleries dedicated to the Native artists of North America opened in 2016.
That experience in 2016 was a great one for reconnecting with the local Lenni Lenape communities. So it kind of really refocused the fact that this literally is Lenape land that the museum is sitting on. And the Lenape Trail runs right through the city of Newark.
You know, I think also, just FYI, the Newark Museum, I think they had, and somebody watching might know, there was a quilt exhibit that predated the Whitney. There was a quilt exhibit at the Newark Museum, and I ought to know, but it was a small exhibit of quilts, I think, there. Anyway, but it was okay. That's a note to self to figure that out. All right.
The catalog for Wendy's exhibit acknowledges this.
When I was in grad school, I think it was around the holiday times, and I wasn't able to go home, and I was really missing home.
God, she's so pretty.
Without even really consciously thinking about it, I knew I could find Crow stuff, Crow objects, if I went to the Natural History Museum.
Wow.
And now I'm like, wow, that's kind of morbid, right?
Oh, there, you see? The inflatable thing. Wow, God, oh my God.
My experience there is what led to the making of the work. And when I walked into the museum, I walked under this giant brontosaurus and all these dinosaur bones. And I walked into the native galleries. It's dark in there. I found some Crow material, but I also was witness to everybody like looking at the native objects and realizing, wow, you know, I'm sure the audience, just the way that we've sort of been set up, immediately as we walk through the door, assumes that these people no longer exist.
Wow.
And there were dioramas, they look like Montana, and I was like, I need to take this back and make this piece that articulates my experience.
Oh my God.
The Four Seasons.
Oh my God. This is so great.
Photographs launched her career. Ever since, Wendy Redstar has been creating work centered around Native American history and her life, growing up on the Crow Reservation in Montana.
So this is my first eagle plume for my first dance. For crows, it's called a wisdom feather, or AKA eagle butt feather, because it's located near the tails, the seat of knowledge and the soul of the bird. So what I've learned is that people don't know about Native people at all. They don't know the history, which isn't just Native history, it's U.S. history.
Wendy began to consider how images of Native Americans are used in our culture.
Oh, wow. Huh. I've never noticed that. Have you noticed that? Honesty First Nation? Wow, okay. That's weird.
Such as a photo of Medicine Crow on a bottle of tea.
That's weird.
And it made me wonder, like, the people that are using these images, do they know his name? Do they know that he's Crow? Do they know that he's from Montana?
No.
Then I started thinking, wait a minute, I don't know what happened that day when he sat down to take that portrait. And so it was that one question.
So what's, I'll just say, so it says ermine on shirt, captured. I can't read that. Ermine on leggings, successful war leader. So she's showing what things mean. Happy hunting grounds, 1920. Brass rings. She's pointing to the different things. And I just saw on the bottom, Yeah, hair extensions made from people in mourning, buffalo, impound, like she's, yeah, okay.
And that day when he sat down to take that portrait. And so it was that one question, and it just led me on this incredible adventure of looking through archives.
Oh, she says up here, this hair bow is broken. Like, hair bows were out of fashion in 1880. So, like, she's saying, like, there's things of this picture, right, that are so specific and so human, right? Like, he was a little out of fashion when this picture was taken or something, you know? I love that. It's so good. 6 wives, something on his regalia means 6 wives, kicked in the bellies. And anyway, it's just so good. I wanted to say it. Okay.
So going through history.
The notes she took became part of a new series using the historic peace delegation photos as a starting point.
It wasn't just him. It was a group of 6 chiefs, and there are portraits of 5 of the 6 chiefs that are delegation portraits from 1880. They were going there to meet the president because the U.S. government was trying to put a train through a large chunk of our hunting territory. And like all of these things started coming out of this one project. The more and more that I dug, the more things were revealed, the more I knew I didn't know things, and it just kind of kept going.
God.
So I do use a mix of photography, some of my own photography, some archival photography, and some of my family's photography.
Wendy took her own photos for the series Home is Where My Teepee Sits, showing life on the Crow Reservation today. In the 19th century, its original size was over 38 million acres.
Our current reservation has been reduced down to like 2.25 million acres. And so basically, what I'm articulating with this work is what the current reservation looks like. What I know of the Crow Indian Reservation today, because this is where I grew up, and these are sort of the normal things that you would see if you were to drive through my reservation. You'd run into these objects, which are these reservation cars, sort of these broken down cars that have different lives, like they become storage units or a place for me and my cousins to like play in. I love sweat lodges. I find them really fascinating, especially when you're driving around my reservation, because they're just out in the landscape. You see these weird dome things, and I like that they're very utilitarian, that they're covered in blankets and carpet and anything they can find to keep the heat contained inside for when they use it.
I haven't thought about this in a long time. I've been in a sweat lodge, a proper sweat lodge on a reservation. Did the thing. So a long time ago. I have to think about how long ago. In Albuquerque, outside Albuquerque. Has anybody else, who out there? Hey, Skoden. Hey, 5Z. Angelina says, love a good res car. Yes, well, I mean, maybe you don't have to talk about it. You know, I don't know what your experience is with it, but I haven't thought about it in so long. But it, you know, it was one of these. But I had, anyway, it was an important experience. It was really, really interesting, and I hadn't thought about what it looked like on the outside because it was at night, and yeah, wow. Has anybody seen 5Z? What is it? It's Eric. Eric, what is the show? It's a Res Dogs, or it's Reservation Dogs. Reservation Dogs. It's really great.
I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, these kids on a reservation, and Eric, you'll have to help me if it's on Netflix or whatnot. I can't remember now, but the kids are so cool. They're living on this reservation, and they're just little scamps, you know, scamping around, acting up, and they say "Skoden," like "Let's go then, Skoden." So Eric and I say "Skoden." Anyway, it's not Reservoir Dogs, it's Reservation Dogs. That's a play on the title. It's really good. Yeah, what a great show. Dee Dee knows it. Hey, Bridgewater. Anyway, so yeah, sweat lodges. Okay. Her scarf is so beautiful, it's distracting. Okay, just about done. Here, about a minute and a half.
Wendy built her own sweat lodge at the Newark Museum.
Wow.
While there are no hot rocks or steam, climbing inside does transport you to another reality.
the significance when you go inside for the crow is that it's a place to sort of get away from the outside world, to pray and think about others, and to kind of reconnect with your spiritual side. So when I go back home and you see some of these photos of the broken down res cars or the government houses, one would think, oh, this is like a poorer community. But for me, I don't see that at all. I just see the cultural richness and vastness of it all. And also considering my ancestors fought so hard for us to keep our cultural knowledge.
Yeah. Video night. Man, it's good stuff. Yeah, so some of you were saying Reservation Dogs is great. And you think it's Hulu stuff? Did I see that? Yeah. Yeah, it's really great. It's good. Hey, Jill. Jill says, evening, my nerd Valentines. And a good evening to you, my lady. Oh. Yes. Oh, and by the way, hey, I hope 5Z is still watching. 5Z, this is for you, honey. Where to go? Oh, yeah. Okay, I tried to take a picture of it, but I didn't make that happen. But, honey, I got you a candy heart, and it says cool cat. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. I didn't know I was going to do that. It seemed appropriate. I love you very much. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so before we go on to the next video, let's take a cake break, because I could use a break.
Okay.
I really hate candy hearts. They're so terrible.
Eric, I have a candy heart, and I'm going to eat it.
Yay!
It was for you, but I'm going to eat it.
Good. Eat it. Don't crack a tooth. Cake, I'm going to hand it over to you. And, you should really, type up all your cake break things about Dr. Dunton, because I go and I take my break, and I miss it. So, it's the cake break. Wait a minute. Kate C 5028. Kate, I don't see you popping up in the chat that much. I love it when you do. But I love it that I haven't seen your name in the chat recently too much, but you're like, hang on. I'm putting down what I do while I watch Quilt Nerd. I love candy hearts, and I'm going to let the world know. I like that was what you said. I mean it. This is amazing. Okay, so anyway. Yes, you are very sweet. Kate, thanks for coming to the show. All right. Cake, it's all you. Do your worst. And I mean, you know what I do. Okay.
All right. So, before I forget, I wanted to let you guys know, if you are on the disco, that I created a research project section, and then I added, it's the kitten.
It was the kitten. Why did the kitten? Why did
there
the
must
kitten
have been a gift.
show?
Oh, Kenny gifted.
Oh my God.
Yes, Kenny gifted.
Honey, Eric, can you gift a sub to somebody? Because the kitten showed up, but the kitten hasn't worked in so long. Kenny, thank you for gifting a sub. I'll come back and talk about it. No, Eric, don't do it. Anyway, I'll do it. I'll figure out how to do it from my phone. Okay, bye. But we'll see the kitten again in a minute. Sorry, Kate, go ahead.
I love that kitten. So I created a research project section, and then I've added a Dr. Dunton club, and then there was a general quilt research channel, and I moved that down. So we have a research section now. And if any of you are working on other projects, and I know you are, please feel free if you do want to share your work. Obviously you don't have to. But I thought I've showed you guys some of the pictures, and I thought you might want to look at more of them. And I've got his textbooks out there. It's good reading if you want to know about occupational therapy. So it's some good stuff. But I want to, and I will put these newspaper clip-ins that I've been reading to you from, I will put them out there too. But I wanted to talk to you about the Valentine's Day one. So this was in the Evening Sun, Baltimore, Maryland, February 14th, 1940. And the title is St. Valentine's Day Brings Mail Rush. More modern messages go by wire. Library shows old frilly collection. So, in 1940, I guess people were telegraphing their Valentines. that giving somebody an actual card was considered old and frilly, according to the Baltimore Sun. So they're talking about the Fine Arts Department at the Enoch Pratt Free Library, which is a big library system here in Baltimore. And I won't get into the whole history of that, but they're also very interesting. But they had a display of different kinds of Valentines. And, they talk about some that were from like the Civil War period and, all the stuff that they have. And then in the middle of the article, let me read it to you verbatim. It says, "The Heart and the Mirror. One of the oldest Valentines on display at the main library, elaborate with lacy paper, has in its center a large gilt heart inscribed 'Reflections of the Heart.' Under this paper heart is a mirror. This Valentine was presented to the library by," you guys know, Dr. William Rush Dunton Jr., medical director of the Harlem Lodge at Catonsville. Dr. Dunton found the Valentine, which bears no name, in an old family Bible, and he believes it to be more than 100 years old. And so they go on to talk about some other different kinds of Valentines. But Dr. Dunton, Flipster, you're an occupational therapist. Holy cow. Okay. Somebody else in here, and I don't know if it was Linda, if it was you, somebody else that was kind of interested in Dr. Dunton told me that they have a relative who is an occupational therapist, and you guys still reference his work. Am I correct about that? And this just like shocked me, because you think like all of the changes that have come, over the 20th century, not even considering the 21st century, but, with medical and psychology and all that stuff. It was amazing to me that I heard that people are still referencing Dunton in occupational therapy work, which is it's just wild. Yes. Yep. Still references work. That's crazy. That's just amazing. Dr. Dunton died in 1966. To give you some kind of perspective on this, how many doctors are still being referenced when they died in the mid 20th century, right? Because things change so much. So I guess he did a good thing. And if you're new to the channel, if you haven't listened to Cake Breaks before, Dr. Dunton is sort of he's my obsession right now. I'm doing some research on him. And he was a doctor, a neurologist and psychologist in Baltimore, Maryland, who loved quilts. And he collected many, many, many things. And he researched quilts pretty extensively. So kind of like we do. Like he absolutely nerded out. So we love Dr. Dunton here. Yeah. When you're hot, you're hot. Dunton is timeless, indeed. And you guys, I have so many other like little crumbs of things. Dunton was crazy about quilts, but Dunton was also crazy about some other stuff. And the Baltimore Sun wasted no time telling everyone about it. So I have lots of other things to show.
Excellent.
For many, many cake breaks to come.
That's good. I need to have new slides every time. Sorry.
This banjo quilting thread. I love it.
Banjo quilt. Yes, that's a good idea.
Dunton smut.
You know what?
I think that there's probably no smut to be had about Dunton. He seems like a pretty buttoned up guy, although he did have 2 wives.
At the same time?
I have not unearthed all the details
at the same time? He had them at the same time? 2 wives at the same time?
No, I think there was a good 15 years between the death of wife 1 and what I think the marriage of wife 2. So maybe 10 years, but yeah.
Well, I mean, the people who seem normal, those are the people who are super, who there's more to uncover about Dr. Dunton. I mean, he was focused on quilts all the time. You know what that means? I don't know. So yes, Dr. Dunton, let your freak flag fly, and I'm so happy that you found this exciting project. And I mean, actually, that's what I was going to say. And we're going to go back to videos right now, but I got to tell you, Bertha Mextra, thinking about that project got me up this morning, because I was feeling, I've been feeling, it's a lot. Life is a lot. And this morning I was like, I just think I need to sleep in today. And I was like, no, because if I go to the office, I'll have time to spend on the Bertha stuff. And I read some of her memoirs, and it was great. And honestly, she got me out of bed this morning because I was like, I don't have to do work on anything. I can get my coffee and I can sit and I can read some stuff about Bertha, and it was really enough to get me up. It was great. Yeah. So, find a research project today and survive the night. Okay, so let's, okay. This is great. This is so, I love people. In fact, when I saw this video, I texted my husband, Eric, and I said, I love what I do. Did I not 5Z say that? I think I did, and if you're still watching, you can confirm it. You don't have to. It happened. Here we go. This one's 2 minutes and 32 seconds. What does it say? It says Patchwork Quilt Poem. What does it mean?
Well, I write from my heart what I've seen over the years and things I've done on dairy farms and my Navy days, and so I just write about what I see. There's a little old shack in the valley below, surrounded by wattles where the wildflowers grow. On the veranda sits a lady so grey and so old, in the warm morning sun, away from the cold. She sits there each day in her old rocking chair, doing a patchwork of the wildflowers there, creating a quilt as precious as gold with those trembling fingers, so nimble, but old. Counting those stitches one by one, patch after patch, till each block is done. Oh. Now the butterflies are dancing by creeks that flow there, and the tollawongs call through the clear morning air.
Pause. The quilts are really nice. They're super fancy. Okay, I don't know much about what's happening here, but I really like the internet sometimes. Okay.
The wildflowers sway in a slight morning breeze, while the wattles bloom with the song of the bees. But that old lady doesn't hear the bush anymore. Only the squeaker of the rocker on the old wooden floor. And she never sees those dancing butterflies.
I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at how Bridgewater said, but old. Like, he was like, so nimble, but old. It was just great. Did he go up on the line? That's what I wondered when I saw it. And then I didn't watch the rest of it. I just watched that part, and I was like, this is golden. We're watching it. But he was like, and the stitches taken by fingers, so nimble, but old. I think he forgot. Okay. And then look at these people. I feel like it's hot in the room. Okay, anyway.
For ages worn and fading blue light.
What's happening?
But her mind is so clear, like a bright summer's day, as she works on the cloth like a small child at play, creating that quilt as precious as gold with those trembling fingers.
So nimble, so old. He didn't forget it was the poem.
There's a little white cross.
So, by the way, I did Poetry Slam for a lot of years. It was a good time. And there was a game. There's a game. They still play it at the Green Mill, where the Poetry Slam was born here in Chicago in 1982. Okay, and it's called Guess the Rhyme. And you're in a bar. It's a jazz club where Al Capone used to hang out. It's like very cool, very hip. And when somebody's up on the mic for the open mic, and they're doing a poem that's in this fashion where you can just tell what he's gonna rhyme. You know, you can tell. Then the game is to call out and say in unison, as a crowd, the thing. This would get that treatment. It's great. I love it. It's great. I'm not making fun of him. I'm just having a good time. We could play Guess the Rhyme. In the last 30 seconds, perhaps we can. Okay.
Surrounded
hold on.
But her mind is so clear, like a bright summer's day, as she works on the cloth like a small child at play. Creating that quilt as precious as gold.
Yeah, we know
with
this.
those trembling fingers.
So nimble,
so nimble.
so
I know.
old.
Now there's a little white cross in the valley below, surrounded by wattles where the wildflowers grow. There's an old rocking chair, standing alone in the hall, by a beautiful quilt that now hangs on the
wall. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, here's our next one. I liked it a lot. I really liked. Let's just do some forensics here. Hang on. I want to do some forensics. Let's go. Patchwork quilt poem. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna mute it. So what's happening here? Do we know? There's no information about it. I would like to point out that the one like is from me. So if you watch this video, when I share it's from me. I did it earlier. You see, if I take it away, there's none. Okay. So I really, really love people who write poems. I love people who write poems who are not like official poets or, whatever, published poets. I really love that. I think it's important. Poems are really great. They're like quilts. They heal and can give you something that you didn't have before. So I love that. I love it when old dudes write poems about quilts. It's great. So, but like, this is obviously a quilt show, but there's nothing much about it. We see the Araya Park Festival. It's the quilts are really nice. YouTube, I can't zoom in when I'm showing you a video. Eric, perhaps you can figure out how I could do that. That'd be cool. Hey, Joyce. Oh, Joyce, you gotta go to the Green Mill. You gotta come to the Green Mill. You let me know. We'll go together. Jill wants him to come to her birthday party. It's Australia, right? Somebody might know better if it's New England, New Zealand, perhaps.
I'm real bad with the accents.
I know.
I mess it up.
I know it's Australia or New Zealand, but I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure. Yes. So anyway, but it's a really nice facility, really nice quilts, and yeah. It's a little show. I really like this part. This part made me laugh a lot. Let's see. Here it is. I just picture the videographer. Here's what the videographer is doing. His boss was like, "No, don't give me post. Don't give me the platform. We don't want that. Over. To get him. Focus on him." Don't give me post. I need human beings. I need interaction. God. All right. Okay, so this next one, I've just got a couple more for you. That's right. And this is pretty interesting stuff. Oh, yeah, there's that one too. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to watch. This is the longest one. It's 8 minutes. And then the other one is 3 minutes and 25 seconds. But it's kind of uplifting. This music one, okay? We're going to do this one to close out the show. The next one we're going to watch, I've not seen it. It's called the War Widows Quilt from War Widows Stories. And it's from the UK. And I know because this woman is walking in London. And I recognize where she was walking. So let's hear what she has to say. I'm going to put it on 1.25 just because sometimes it's good to do that. And if it feels too fast or we can't, oh, it said Australia. Okay. If we can't understand it or something like that, we'll slow it down. Okay. This is from War Widows Stories. All right. Oh, yeah, here. Wow, right. Look at that. Okay.
The War Widow Stories project raises awareness of the lives of war widows in the UK.
Yeah, it's too fast. Sorry. She's a fast talker. It's not going to work. Wait till one day I slow something down, and it's real weird. Okay, this is Dr. Nadine Muller, Liverpool John Moores University, project leader. Oh, project leader, War Widows Stories. Interesting. I didn't know that she was the leader of the project. I thought she was like a reporter or something, so cool. Hey.
Present. For the last 3 years, we've been interviewing war widows about the challenges they faced since losing their loved one to their service in the armed forces. But we wanted to find another, a more creative, a more impactful way in which these women could tell their stories to the world. And that's why today we're at the Queen's House in Greenwich, where for the first...
Yeah, it's not London, it's Greenwich. And actually, Eric, when I saw those two structures, okay, anyway.
Time ever, we'll be unveiling the magnificent, the beautiful War Widows Quilt, made by over 90 war widows and their families.
Angelina, probably.
The War Widows Quilt project has been amazingly important to the War Widows Association to be involved in a project like this. When we first launched the War Widows Stories project with Dr. Muller, it was interesting. It was something I was passionate about because stories, or the stories of war widows, are often forgotten. War widows themselves are often forgotten. So to be part of this and to move the project forward was exciting. When Lois and Phil came along with the idea of a quilt, sewing a quilt, stitching a quilt, it was
The pockets are really, really amazing. And the needlework, I'm telling you, in England, there's needlework that's really, I don't know. They always do it so good. Why do they do it so good? Okay.
A different way to tell the story. And as the project developed over this past year, it has been amazing to be part of workshops where the ladies have stitched squares, and the stitching is somewhat secondary to actually in the workshops where the ladies opened up and talked, and I suppose it was sort of therapy and therapeutic in its own way. Wow. And to see the final quilt in situ in Queen's House is absolutely amazing. It's very poignant, and hopefully more people now, when they visit the quilt and see the quilt, will start to understand the war widow story.
So one thing that is kind of a theme tonight, it is a theme tonight. I mean, think about Nikki Giovanni's poem. She's like, I hope you'll remember me. I hope you can put me into a quilt and warm someone. Sort of like, don't forget me, right? I mean, of course, the theme of not forgetting a person or having a quilt be a memory, this is something that's well-trod ground. But tonight, like, and then Wendy Redstar talking about, a whole forgotten, her tribe of people, forgotten or overlooked somehow, and using art to remember them. And here, using art and the quilt form to remember war widows. I mean, I gotta say, like, yeah, when have I thought about the plight of a widow, who lost her husband in the war, or a partner? It's like, yeah, I'm reminded right now that everybody has a story, and it's, yeah, God, okay.
I don't think I've ever felt such a responsibility to a project, actually, and to the people that I'm working with. The depth of emotion that people have poured into their artworks has been phenomenal. The pockets on the quilt, they contain fragments of their lives. Really? They contain poems, they contain letters, photographs. For some women, actually physically sewing the date of the death was an incredibly powerful experience. And writing and sewing the name of their husband. For many women, the name of that husband has not been acknowledged on a memorial anywhere in the country. And a lot of people commented on this and the power of actually, and the importance of writing their husband's name on something that's going to be seen, that's going to be kept forever, a memorial. We also felt it incredibly important, though, that the women's names were on there. This is their story. It's a hidden story.
Lois and Phil and Nadine were just so, they were so supportive and encouraging, and said it wasn't about how good the sewing was, the stitching was, it was about what went into it. And as I learned what the project was going to be, that it was going to really be telling our stories and a historical record, if you like, I was really then quite keen to become involved. To come here tonight and see the finished quilt has really been quite overwhelming.
Wow.
And very emotional to see it all put together. It's the first time I've seen it all stitched together. It's really, it's a very, very powerful representation of a lot of tears, a lot of heartbreak, but a lot of happy memories as well.
I wonder how the project, and maybe they might say it, there's 3 minutes left, less than 3 minutes. They might say how, but like, I don't know, it's interesting. Somebody just has an idea to do that, and then you organize it and do it. I'm also thinking about the AIDS quilt, the Names Project. The AIDS quilt, last time I looked, was 56 tons, weighs 56 tons, and it's stored in a warehouse in Atlanta, and parts of it, travel and are exhibited and stuff. But it's really, storing these things and keeping these things. Like when you have stuff on quilts and when you have, even embroidery, it gets really fragile. I mean, even like beading and stuff. But like there's like stuffed animals on the AIDS quilt. There's, plastic baggies of stuff, mementos and things. And I don't know. It's interesting to store those things and keep them safe. I'm sure there were rules about what you could put in the pockets and what to avoid or whatnot. But it's interesting. These community quilt projects, when they have those mementos, I think about that.
And I'm hugely, hugely proud to have been part of this project.
The War Widows Quilt is not only a piece of fabric that's been made by many people, that's been stitched by many people, it's also a poem that's been written by many authors. And it's been quite a thing to see people be so brave in making this work, because if you're going to make an artwork or if you're going to write a poem, you have to open your heart. That's the only way to do it. There is no shortcut. And what I hope is that the quilt will also speak to everybody else who walks into a room or sees a photograph of it. And because it's talking about war, and it's talking about a part of history that is pushed to one side. And it's very, very important to talk about that. But also, it's speaking to all of us about the experience of loss.
I came along to this venue a year ago today because it was to be the first workshop where some of the widows would try their hand at sewing a square or writing a poem. And I decided to do our Christian names, my husband and my own, and the date of our wedding. Because there's no way I want to record the date of his death. But I do want to remember the day we were married.
Oh my God, Moira and John. Something we talked about in grad school and like seminars when we were looking at people's work was, mark making. Was in the textile department, and like this is mark making to me. She doesn't have embroidery skills necessarily formally, but it's absolutely perfect. It's so perfect the way her A is. I don't know. It's great. It's perfect.
So now that I see that on the quilt, I'm very pleased that I did do it, and that Lois did persuade me that even though I had misgivings, that I would be pleased with the outcome, and I am. It's very poignant today to see it as a finished article, and I think it really reflects exactly what we're trying to do as an association.
Great. She was so English, you know, just proper and yes, great. That was really interesting. Yeah. Oof. Great. I saw Susan say the Greenwood Quilt Project just started last month. That's great. Hey, babe. Listen, you know what? Be in the replay gang because we've had a lot of fun tonight. We got one more video. You're just in time. It's video night. In fact, just for you, babe. Video night at Quilt Nerd. Yeah, we've been watching videos all night. And there's one more left. And this is, I mean, there's something for everybody. Oh, this is another one of those videos where there were 0 likes until I hit the thumbs up. So I encourage everyone to also thumbs up. So this, oh yeah, wait a minute. I gotta read you the thing. Sun Quilt. Quilt songs. So up. Oh wait. I think the chat's probably hiding that. Let me hide that for a second. It says quilt songs. Sun Quilt. Laura Coates Reed. Gabriella Lena Frank. 2016. What could it mean? Well, we read that 1 year ago this was uploaded. It's got 200 views. 5 prominent female composers struck by the creativity of Kay McCarthy's magnificent quilts were each commissioned to compose an a cappella work based on a poem of their choosing. A poem that spoke to each of them about the quilt they chose. How delightful to bring together the worlds of music, poetry, and fiber art for all to enjoy. Let's listen, shall we? It's 3 minutes and 24 seconds. I don't know. That's a long time to listen to something without images. Oh yeah, and I was going to get Kay McCarthy quilts, and I did on my other computer. Hang on, I could show you Kay McCarthy quilts. Here it is. Yeah, while we're looking, but I don't have it ready. Interesting. Oh yeah, they're pretty cool. Okay. On the fly, I'm not so sure. Let's listen to this, and maybe you can Google while you're watching. No, don't do that. Let's listen and see what we think, okay? Let's listen. Based on the work of Kay McCarthy's quilts and poems, here we go. It's pouring rain. It's great outside. It's very faint. I'll work on this. Okay, listen to this. Listen to this. Quilt Songs was commissioned in 2015 for Vocal Essence by Mike McCarthy to honor his wife, Kay. Each composer hand-selected a quilt and poem inspired by the quilt. The 5 quilts chosen for Quilt Songs all include bold color and design. The techniques range from intricate piecing to graceful curved applique. And this is Sun Quilt. Okay. This is the poem. The sun has such a pretty quilt. Each night he goes to bed. It's made of lavender and gold, with great long stripes of red, and bordered by the softest tints of all the shades of gray. It's put together by the sky and quilted by the day. I'll show you the quilt. You want to see it? I've got it ready. Okay, here's the quilt. It's right here, and it's there. Whoops, hold on. There. Let me do that. So that's Starburst, Kay McCarthy, 2003. And the composer who wrote that piece says, and I'm going to share, this is what I'm looking at, by the way. This is pretty cool. Put this in the chat. I found a PDF. If I was really, on top of it, I would have played the whole thing and read all of this to you, but I don't know, tired of reading, making y'all listen to me read. That's why I wanted to play videos, so I didn't have to talk. But this says, that's a PDF about the project. I just put the link in there. Composer says, quilts are frequently wordless. Yes, yet communicate abundantly in tradition and beauty. In Sun Quilt for SATB Choir, rising and falling lines of wordless singing and humming is used to convey the mesmerizing pieces of fabric that interweave together in the most skilled quilter's hands. When words do come into play in this piece, they draw on the poetry of Laura Coates Reed, a 19th century American poetess whose work is featured in historical anthologies of women's poetry. Sensitive to the issues and artistic expressions of women of the day, her own sweet words equate the artistry of quilting to the artistry of nature. Pretty cool. So let's look at Kay McCarthy at some point. Yeah. Well, I think this, what this has been. Hey, Quilt Tops by Ivana, subscribe to Tier 3. Tier 3! Oh, wait, hold on. Just wait a minute. Don't do that to me. It's Ivana.
It was interesting.
Oh, God. Ivana. Thank you, Ivana. It's great to see you. We've had a good... Thank you for subscribing at Tier 3. I appreciate you. Appreciate you a great deal. And the show tonight's been videos. I mean, you got here just in time. Because, we're going to sign off. So you could have missed it. You could have missed this. But this is a very interesting thing we just found. This composer, these composers made songs about this woman's quilts, but they were set to poems. And I just realized tonight that putting together these videos, partly, the fabric is used so smartly. Yeah, it's so smart, right? It's so good. The reason that poems have been running through the night... And I know what I'm going to do. The last thing we're going to do, we're going to listen to that Nikki Giovanni poem again. That's what we're going to do. That's going to be the closer for the show. I want Ivana to hear it too.
May I offer an alternative to a quilt song?
Yes.
Because I know everybody was saying how lovely that was. I frankly did not like that music.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Listen, here comes Cake.
I don't know. It just felt real. It just feels real churchy to me. And,
it feels churchy.
This is a stunning quilt.
It really.
So kind of like.
It really is.
But. If I may offer, and maybe we could talk about this person another time,
but
Eliza Hardy Jones, she, instead of quilt songs, she makes song quilts.
Yep, Eliza Hardy Jones. I will write her down as well.
For those of you that are music people, she, I believe, is guitarist for Grace Potter. So those of you that know Grace Potter, she's, and no, Padma, you do not want to hear me sing. make your ears bleed, and we don't want to do that on Valentine's Day.
Yes, exactly. That is yes, we don't want that. We don't want that. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Cake doesn't want to sing. And she's my boo. So, you know what? It's fine. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to, okay? Nobody puts Cake in the corner.
Cake doesn't want to sing, and you don't want her to either.
You don't want her to. Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, so thank you to everybody. I feel like this is like pure Quilt Nerd, like, fun, you know, and like joy. I feel that way. But I mean, it's just like follow our nose. Oh yeah, and I keep trying to say that when I was looking for videos, I found that Nikki Giovanni piece that is forthcoming, and I was like, oh yeah, quilts and poems. And I think what I searched for in YouTube was poem quilts, or poem quilts or something like that. And that's what happens with this show. That's why this show is even possible, is because one thing, you know, it's like if you search for, I don't know, quilts and chemistry, I mean, literally just like pick something out of the air and...
Isn't that what we call falling down bunny holes?
It is. It's the bunny hole. Oh, God, the bunny hole. Yeah, thanks, Stephanie. It just sounds wrong, right? Rabbit holes, we always talk about rabbit holes, but I don't know, bunny hole. Okay, God help me. I gotta get out of here. Anyway, by the way, since I've got this up in preview, I just wanted to show you. Remember how if we wanted to look at something like on preview, it was just always kind of like, I don't know. Now that we're using Acorn, it's better. I just keep wanting to say that because I'm trying to make the show better technically, right? All the time. Okay, here we go. Ivana, this one's for you, and it's for everybody. Nikki Giovanni is a special person, a very important writer, and she wrote a beautiful poem, and we're going to listen to it right now. Thank you, everybody. When this is done, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to go to the outro, because I'm not going to talk after this, okay? So I'm going to play it. Cake, thank you so much. I won't sign off from you, but Cake and I are going to sign off after this. And thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. And be careful out there and be good. And thank you so much. And read a poem. And here we go. Okay? Okay. You're welcome. Angelina.
Quilts. Like a fading piece of cloth, I am a failure. No longer do I cover tables filled with food and laughter. My seams are frayed, my hems falling, my strength no longer able to hold the hot and cold. I wish for those first days, when just woven, I could keep water from seeping through, repel stains with the tightness of my weave, dazzle the sunlight with my reflection. I grow old, though pleased with my memories. The tasks I can no longer complete are balanced by the love of the task gone past. I offer no apology, only this plea. When I am frayed and strained and drizzled at the end, please someone, cut a square and put me in a quilt that I might keep some child warm. And some old person with no one else to talk to will hear my whispers and cuddle near. I'm Nikki Giovanni. The reason I love quilts so much is that I am old, and I do hope that I can warm some old person or delight some young person. Life has changed. My life has changed, and the life around me has changed. I hope I've done a good job, but if I haven't, I hope someone cuts a little corner and says she was here, she tried.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. There's something that happens when something that happens when December ends, when December ends, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. It's Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Hey mama, I worry about Christmas Day and how big old Santa's gonna fit in our chimney anyway. And mama, what happens if it's just no good? Will it simply move on to the next house in the neighborhood?